classic story from Taoism that I'm sure will know, the three vinegar tasters.
No, I don't know it. Go ahead. Tell us just the story.
This is a great one. So there's a big vat of vinegar, and there's three men sitting around the vinegar. And it's not any ordinary men. It's three of the great philosophers of the East, Confucius, Buddha, and Laozi. Confucius takes a sip of the vinegar, and he's got a frown on his face. The vinegar representing life, and life is sour by its nature. And so in order to become the sourness and the greed and the ignorance of human nature and nature more generally in life, you needed to read the right books, you needed to wear the right clothing, you needed to meditate with the mat exactly in the way you're supposed to, become an esteemed gentleman, and then in that alignment and cultivation, then life becomes good. And only then can you smile.
Is that the way Confucius was in his personality or teaching?
Well, it's a Taoist story, so
they had a certain
your
bias.
own team. Then you've got the Buddha, and the Buddha takes a sip of the vinegar, and he tries not to react. Just not craving after not drinking the vinegar, no aversion to drinking the vinegar, just indifference, non-attachment. For him, life was suffering, but the suffering had the potential for suffering, but suffering comes from our attachment and our clinging or aversion to the way things are. And so if he didn't react, then life would be okay. And then if he did that well enough, then he could transcend and leave the wheel of samsara and reach nirvana and enlightenment. Then there was the final person, Laozi, the founder of Taoism indeed. And he took a sip of the vinegar, and he had a great big beautiful smile on his face. And you wonder, how could Laozi have a great big beautiful smile if he was having this really sour vinegar? And for Laozi, he said, well, the nature of the vinegar is to be sour. And so if I was to have a frown after that, it would show I didn't understand anything about nature and the Tao and the way. And so I have a smile, a full reverence and enjoyment and a wow to the way life is. And so that is how I can keep having sip after sip of vinegar with a great big beautiful smile.
I think he surreptitiously took a spoonful of honey between each sip of vinegars.
Yeah.
But the other guys didn't see him do that.
Spiritual charlatan. Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, that's good. Of course, life itself, I mean, there are spiritual philosophies that basically say it's all suffering. Even the good stuff is suffering because it ends, it changes. But I don't know, maybe there's truth to that, but life isn't just vinegar, life is a joy. It certainly can be.
Yeah.
It's like, here on this earth, firstly, there's people's subjective experience, which can have them in hell, even if they're in opulent surroundings, or in heaven in impoverished surroundings. But then there are the objective surroundings themselves, which range from really beautiful to horrific. And there's two main variables. And, there are stories of people like Eddie Hillesum who maintained quite a spiritual perspective in Auschwitz or whichever concentration camp she was in. They're wealthy, comfortable people who commit suicide or make a mess of their lives. I don't know why I'm going off on this tangent, but perhaps it triggers a thought in you.
Yeah. For me, it does just come back to the enjoyment. It's like a phrase I love from Taoism is stop asking why, start saying wow.
That's good.
And yeah, so because it's like the thinking mind is trying to work it all out, and that's beautiful because that's what the thinking mind does. But this is a point at which you just enjoy it. And